Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Angela Bianca Hilton Hecht. Would you please stand up, ma'am, to the red line? And I understand Mr. Axelrod, you're representing her?
I've been retaining her, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Miss Hecht, is that how you pronounce your name, ma'am?
Yes.
Hilton Hecht. How old are you?
43.
And how long have you been living in Myrtle Beach?
3 years.
Where'd you live before that?
New York.
All right. And are you presently on probation or parole for anything?
No, I am not.
Are you out on bond for any other charges?
No, I'm not.
All right. You are in court this afternoon, ma'am, because you have been charged with the following offenses: criminal sexual conduct with a minor, 3rd degree. Do you understand the charge?
I understand the charge, yeah.
Yes. Committing a lewd act with a victim under 16 years and over 14 years old. Do you understand that charge?
Yes.
And contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Do you understand that charge?
Yes.
You are presumed not guilty until or unless you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt by the state of South Carolina. This is a bond hearing, which is an opportunity for the court to set bond so that you may be able to post bond in an effort for you to be released from jail today pending your court appearance. Before I set your bond, there are a few things I need to go over with you. If you have any questions, just interrupt me and I will try to answer them for you or have your attorney, Mr. Axelrod, address them for you. On the issue of bond, as I said, it's for you to be released until your court date. The court considers certain factors in deciding what your bond should be. The state law of South Carolina says that a person is entitled to a personal recognizance bond, which means you don't have to post any money or property unless certain factors exist. And those factors are, the first is whether the person, the defendant, the person charged, has ties to the community. And the court considers how long you've lived here, if you have family here, where you lived before you came here, and that is important to the court in order for the court to consider whether or not you would be a flight risk, meaning that you are more likely not to show up for court and skip bond because you live somewhere else and you have ties to some other state. Secondly, whether or not you have any type of prior criminal record, and based on what I've reviewed, you do not have any prior criminal record that I see. So the court will consider that, and also based on the charge, whether you are a risk or a threat to yourself or to the community. And again, while you are presumed not guilty, the court considers the seriousness of the allegations and the warrants in deciding whether there should be some no contact or some kind of restrictions as far as any bond that you're required to post. Any questions about anything I've said so far, ma'am?
No.
All right. You are entitled to an attorney to represent you. If you cannot afford to hire one, then the court will appoint the public defender's office, which is not necessary, as Mr. Axelrod has represented to the court that he has been retained to represent you. Further, you are entitled to what is called a preliminary hearing, which is a hearing held to determine if the state of South Carolina has probable cause to get warrants for your arrest. It's not your trial, it's a hearing for the limited purposes of deciding whether the warrants are valid. Your attorney will explain to you more fully what that means. You have 10 days from today's date to request a preliminary hearing. You will be provided with a form with my signature. If that is returned to the Central Preliminary Court within 10 days, then they will schedule a hearing for you and notify you at the mailing address that's on that form. Any questions about preliminary hearing? You are required to make your first appearance in court on February the 4th at 1 o'clock in courtroom 3B that's located at the courthouse in Conway. This is a mandatory court appearance. If you are out on bond and you fail to appear for any reason, you will be picked up on a bench warrant and kept at the county jail indefinitely. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You signed this form acknowledging that you understand when you're required to appear, and likewise I'm signing it to acknowledge that I have advised you of the date and time that you are required to appear in court. Okay, the court has the record of victim notification, which indicates that the victim advocate spoke with the victim's mother, who did not have anything to say other than to request the highest possible bond for all three charges. She's requesting a no contact order. And of course, the victim advocate office is also requesting a no contact order. Mr. Axelrod, I'll be glad to hear from you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Judge, my client, Angela, she's 43 years old, never been in any trouble. Originally, she was from New York. She lived up in Long Island, and she got divorced about 3 years ago. She moved down here to be with her parents. Parents bought her a place to live. She lives in like a condo or something right now. She was a Spanish teacher, substitute teacher at Myrtle Beach High School. They let her go at this point. She has strong ties to the community. I don't think she's a flight risk. I'm not opposed to a contact order. I don't think she's a danger to others. If we look at this actual case, this is an event that occurred at the school. She's no longer at that school. Your Honor, as the court said, she's innocent until proven guilty. I would ask the court to give a PR bond. The family's retained me with a contact order. She's not going anywhere. We'll deal with this in its appropriate time. The court gave us a 1:30 on February the 4th for the initial. Does the court have the bond returnable date as well at this point?
No, I don't have it, but I can get the clerk to get that for you.
No, that's okay. I thought if the court had it. Your Honor, I would just ask if the court could do a PR bond. Never been in trouble before. The charges are serious. I'm not litigating what she's charged with, but as the court says, she is innocent until proven guilty. And I think it's something that we'll work this out. I mean, we'll work out.
Did you say she is or was a substitute teacher?
Substitute high school teacher at Myrtle Beach High School.
She did it a couple of years ago, also here. She was back here.
That's where this happened at.
Yeah, I know that's where. But I just wanted to make sure
She was
that
a teacher.
she is employed full time. Are you employed full time, ma'am?
She got fired. No, it was part
Wait a
of
minute.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
I got fired, ma'am.
Okay, but prior to your being fired, were you
Yes,
employed
I was employed full-time
as a teacher or substitute teacher?
as a substitute teacher.
Okay, and how long have you been substituting at Myrtle Beach High School?
I did it for approximately 1 month.
So you had a long-term substitute assignment?
Yes,
Okay, and prior to that time, did you substitute in Horry County?
sometimes.
Okay, and since you've lived here, have you been employed full-time?
No.
Okay, and what kind of work did you do in New York?
I was a stay-at-home mother.
Okay, all right. Thank you, ma'am. Do you have any other questions for the court, ma'am?
I don't.
Anything else, Mr. Axelrod?
No, I instructed the family, and I told my client she needs to get a job being employed, and we can talk to her while we work this out.
I did not just hear that.
Oh, your attorney said that he had discussed with you about getting employed.
I will discuss with
Oh,
her.
he
I
will.
discussed with the parents that she needs to be fully employed during the pendency of this case.
Did you hear that, ma'am?
Yes, no, I heard it.
He's
Yes.
discussed with your parents and will discuss with you the importance of being employed full-time during the pendency of this case. Is that right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Rarely people say they can't hear me.
Okay. considering all the factors in which the court uses to decide what your bond should be, the court finds that this is not a case that's appropriate for a personal recognizance bond. Although you do not have any prior record, the court is concerned about your short-term stay in this area, even though your parents are here. Well, I think they're here.
They live here.
Okay, they do live here.
9 years they live here.
Okay, thank you. They lived here for 9 years, and you do have family ties to this community. However, you have not lived here long-term, and further that you are not employed full-time, and while you were working as a substitute teacher, you have not been. And the court is more concerned about the allegations and the fact that you have not been here long-term. Not that you may not show up for court, but that the allegations and the fact that what is alleged to have happened at a school concerns the court. And I know, again, bond is not to punish, but to ensure that you appear in court with special conditions, that you have no contact with the victim. In this case, no contact directly nor indirectly. You are not to contact this person by phone, email, text, any form of social media, or the person's family. Further, that you are not to have any contact with any school in the Horry County School District pending the final determination in this case. The amount of your bond is $90,000 cash or surety. Thank you.
How much?
$90,000, $30,000 on each count, cash or surety. Thank you.